to a very strange version of Cindy's Sofa, a digital version, if you will. But it is great to have some lovely guests. They may not be sitting near me on a comfy seat, but we are talking to each other socially distanced and then some. And so I'm delighted to welcome to the sofa the one and only lovely guy, Paul Kerensa. Paul, absolutely lovely to have you here on the sofa.
Well, thank you for having me. Very nice to be here as well on the virtual sofa.
Is it comfortable?
It is, absolutely. Very nice indeed. Just a little fluff the cushions there and it's absolutely fine.
That's better. And the red goes with your tie so well.
I like to think so.
Well,
I dressed up accordingly. I'm glad I chose it well.
Colour coordinated. I think that's absolutely brilliant. English comedy writer, it says in your CV, and stand-up comedian. A lot of people might know you from the fabulous show Miranda. I mean, was that fun to work on?
Yeah, absolutely. I just wish, we'd love to be doing more of them, of course. We do the occasional reunion thing. In fact, I think it was this year, wasn't it? It's been a long year, January the 1st, we had a little reunion show of 10 years or something since that started, and just a lovely team to work with. Really nice. Yeah, absolutely.
And what have you been doing during lockdown?
What have I been doing? Well, in normal time, I do stand up 3 gigs a week, mostly around churches and things. But the diary emptied overnight, pretty much. So that's just something you had to roll with, and it's just one of those things, and we get through it. So I've been doing more writing and looking forward to the gigs coming back when they're allowed to, really.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, my diary didn't empty. It filled up with Tipp-Ex.
Oh, yeah, that's it, isn't it?
Because it was like all the weddings and the wedding rehearsals and the meetings, all Tipp-Ex'd out, and in place Zoom meetings. But still, we've all got through it. I mean, has there been one thing that's helped you over these last few months?
Well, one of them really, in fact, that was quite indicative of the very start of all this, is I've got the 1-year chronological Bible, and it's NLT translation. I got it at the end of last year, and I thought this will be the year to do the Bible in a year, and I thought, we'll try this, and I'm useless at following such things, and sure enough, I've not managed to do it all, but I've done my best, and it'll be a Bible over 2 or 3 years maybe. But in fact, the diary, the Bible passage of the day, when the whole lockdown thing sort of happened and everything turned on its head, was Leviticus, and which is of course great at the best of times.
Jolly little book. I always think.
Exactly, turning to my Bible for some help and encouragement of these sorts of the bleakest of times, when the diary emptied overnight and the Tipp-Ex filled it, and it was about quarantining your house. And the fact that for 7 days you'll be staying there. It was about washing your hands umpteen times to make sure that goes from unclean to clean. And I had to laugh, really. It just goes to show, I think God's got a sense of humour, and sometimes passages like that are put there to make you realise that we've been there all before and we'll be there again. This is it.
There is nothing new under the sun, which is probably Leviticus as well, actually. It's certainly in the Old Testament somewhere. You're absolutely right. Now, looking back over your Christian walk, that you, many years now, of a practising Christian and an outspoken Christian, you're not afraid to tell people about your faith. Has there been a particular resource that's been helpful to you? I mean, obviously the Bible, and you just quoted, you're reading this one. But has there been a resource, maybe it's been a film or a book or an anything, I don't know, whatever, that you found really helpful to you?
I mean, there've been loads, really. I've got a whole bookshelf here of bits and pieces I've picked up over the years. And every time I go to any sort of these exhibitions, I come away with pretty too many things, But the one that I've come back to, I suppose, lots ever since I did theology as a student in the 90s, and the Lion Handbook to the Bible. It looks gloriously, I think it's sort of an 80s cover now, but it's one of those that really just, for me, helps me just see things again in the wide shot. It gives me the overview of the whole Bible, but also has really nice summations of the different books and passages, and just gives me an awareness of the whole story. And I think anything that really helps me to understand the Bible as a whole before then zooming into the specifics, I think is really helpful for me.
Oh, that's yes, I've got a copy of that myself. When I was doing theology, it's the most useful thing to sort of think, now, what was happening when this book in the Bible was written, or what was this really referring? It's
exactly.
magic stuff. You want to know the backstory with everything these days, don't you? Really, what was going on?
Yeah. And it's so easy. We hear all the time, just a Bible verse quoted out of context. It's great on a poster or something that inspires us in just a few words. But often, knowing those backstories and just filling in the gaps and how that bit links to that bit, I just find I need help with that.
Yeah.
So that's great for me, still ongoing.
Excellent. And during this awful time of pandemic, I can't keep saying unprecedented, but it is, time that we've had for the last however many months it's been, what have you found something that's been particularly helpful right now as you've woken up each morning thinking, it hasn't changed? It's a bit like Groundhog Day, isn't it, really?
It can be, can't it? Yeah. It's the thing is, so many rules have changed, of course. I mean, not just rules for the government, which do change all the time, but in terms of, what used to be a routine that was pretty standard for many of us has changed completely. So, my wife's now, she's out working when I'm at home more, where I used to be off doing the gigs and she was doing school runs and things. So, that whole thing has changed. So I suppose one thing for me has been that I'm now doing school runs and dog walks and things in a way that I wasn't doing quite so fully before, and finding that time within that for, using that as a time to be with God, using it as a time to listen to podcasts, or reflect in some way. Sometimes just a walk has been really helpful, listening to the right piece of music, and just taking time to do those, because the days can suddenly get really busy, because some people are saying, all this free time we now have. Other people, we found that I'm still waiting to pick up the novel I've had on my side here since March, because the days have suddenly got really busy. So carving out some time in the day in the new routine, whatever that is for us all, for me, whether it's a little walk, a bit of listen to some music or a podcast, has been really helpful, just trying to make that fit in.
Yeah. Has it made you worry or be concerned or doubt your faith? What's happening?
No, weirdly, I've always felt like I'm not really a worrier, or particularly, but this year, I've had some intense worries, just everything from financially, career-wise, the world at large, health, all of these things have come in at some point, but not faith at all in there. I think, maybe in a way we've had so much else to worry about that actually, and also we want something to cling to, I think, and you want to actually remember above all this that so many of these things are changeable, and things we took for granted before, and regularity and things that are predictable turned out to be not quite so predictable and not quite so regular. So when you have that faith in God that is ongoing, everlasting, immortal, invisible, eternal, all of these giant big words,
yes,
maybe that's something that actually can be really helpful.
Yeah. Oh, well, great. Well, thanks. And thanks for taking time out of your busy schedule to talk to us. It's been really good hearing from you. Hopefully we'll see you at the Christian Resources exhibition in 2021.
Absolutely. Hope so. Looking forward.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Paul.
Nothing beats sitting on it, hearing it, tasting it, wearing it, handling it, trying it, comparing it.
The copier produces 1,000 copies for £4. The Riso digital printer produces 1,000 copies for £1.20 at 140 pages per minute.
Discussing it.
The interesting thing about this centre is it's a very difficult breed on a very small site.
Buying it. Recommending it. I definitely recommend it.
It's always good to have resources, and this is very resourceful, so it's a great place to be.
Nothing beats being here. Buy your tickets online now. creonline.co.uk/tickets.